Okay. Good morning. Um, good morning. Dana's here. So, just real quick, wanted to let you know Lauren is speaking on Carrie Dickey's call. Carrie asked her to speak this today. So that is at noon Eastern time. If anyone wants to pop on and take a listen to that, I'm super excited for her. I was thinking last night, as you know, what could I possibly say to you guys that you don't already know, right? I recognize, and like looking at everyone's coaching forms that you guys are filling out and kind of having conversations behind the scenes. I get that like social media is changing. Sometimes the app makes it confusing. There's a lot of stuff going on in this world. 2020 continues to surprise us, right? And I'm reading this book that I'm really, really getting so much out of. And there was this quote. It said, "We can stay stuck, comfortable, and numb. We can validate that stuckness and comfortableness and numbness with social proof by surrounding ourselves with people who validate our experiences and commiserate with us how life is unfair, sucks, hard, scary, insert whatever adjective feels appropriate," right? That really hit home, and I see that happening a lot. Not so much here in this team, but like out in the world, like wherever your beliefs are, we can find people who will validate those beliefs. And then we associate or disassociate, right? By Netflix or scrolling social media. That's what I do. Sometimes I shop, sometimes I eat. Some people drink or smoke pot or whatever it is. Like we all have vices so we can numb ourselves to what's happening in the world. And it's really easy to have faith and to say things are going really well when everything is going well. I think it's really like a testament to like who you are and like what you're willing to do and like how you're willing to show up. It is when we can show up and have things going well in spite of the world crashing down around us. And so like I just really want to acknowledge that for some people, various stages in this year or maybe even now, that the world feels like it's crashing down, and we can choose to look at it like an opportunity, right? That was what I finally had to do a couple months ago. Like I finally had to stop feeling sorry for myself and repeating on mantra, this is hard, this is hard, this is hard, this is hard. That's what I said for probably a good 6 months of this. This is hard. It felt hard. It is hard, right? But we can focus on the hardness and stay stuck in whatever it is that feels hard and leaves us feeling stuck. Or we can choose to change our mindset and look for the opportunities, because I promise you there are opportunities here, okay? And how fast your business starts is 1000% based on what goes on in here, your belief system. Okay, so we can plug in and subscribe to that now isn't the time because insert whatever feels hard and confusing and complicated, or we can plug into the belief that now is the time. It's really that simple, you guys, okay? What is it that you want? I don't know what that is. It's going to look different for everybody. Some people want to build really big businesses. Some people just want to come in for community. Some people want to just have enough to pay for their product. It's all fine. Like I don't have any attachment to what it is that you want. I want to help you get what you want. For me, I can tell you, it's been the same the entire time I've been in network marketing. I'm here because I want freedom. Okay? This business gives me freedom. I said last night to my husband, I made a comment about us moving, and he was like, well, I can't because his job, he's stuck in his own belief system, and he believes he can't do insert whatever it is that he wants to do because of his job. I don't subscribe to that, okay? This income that I have from here gives me freedom. And for me, it's not gonna be the same for everyone, but there's never been a more important time to have that freedom, okay? So I want you to really, what is it that you want? Why do you want that? Why is it important for you? For some people, maybe you can just hang out here and it's not a big deal. Okay. That isn't my situation. I don't have a choice. I have to show up and work this business and come here and support you for a variety of reasons. But one of them is my family is dependent on the income. Okay. For freedom. I don't necessarily have to worry about it for a roof over my head, but I do need to have this income for freedom. So if you're like a yes, if you're in your full yes and like, hell yes, like, yes, I want the freedom. Yes, like this has to be the time for me now, regardless of the world falling down around us. What do you do? Okay. So let's talk about what can we do in spite of the world going crazy around us. Okay. So I want you guys to make a list. Okay. Number one thing is make a list. I had a really good conversation with somebody. First, I want to share there's two things that have happened. Two people, well, kind of one the same thing. Two people that I exposed probably 2 to 3 years ago when I first came into the business came in and ordered this week. Okay. One had got like that external or that secondary validation because her friend had a Tri-Synergizer from the Friends and Family program. So her friend approached her and said like, you know, like offered her the $10 discount. And thank God, like she came back to me. Like that's like really, that was all I wanted when I first came in. It wasn't to sign people up. It was that people would come back to me when they were ready for the product. And that's what I'm seeing happening. And I told her how incredibly grateful that I am that she did that. And she asked me, she was like, can you still give me the $10? So I Venmo'd her $10. Okay. There's probably other ways that we can get around that, but like, I didn't want that to be an issue. Like I wanted her to feel appreciated. I wanted her to sign up with me. So I just Venmo'd her the $10. So she got the same deal that she would have gotten had she signed up with her friend. Okay. If you're in that situation and you really truly can't do that, please reach out to somebody in your upline. Like we're happy to help. Okay. The number two thing is I had a conversation with a friend of mine who I love her. It's funny, we have never met in person, but I feel very close to her. And we were having just a conversation. We have some shared beliefs around health and our kids. And I met her actually when we both went through IIN at the same time. And so she started on the product and we were just talking about that. She's got her whole family on it now. And we were talking about, I'm trying not to I don't want to like put my beliefs on you, but like if a certain things happens, like how we would like move together, right? Like there's a meme floating around that like if a certain thing happens, like jail's going to be really fun because we're all going to be there, right? And it got me thinking. My point is like, who would you want? Like if you had to move suddenly and like create a community for yourself, who would you want to go with you? Make a list of those people. Seriously, whether it's 20 people, 50 people, 100 people, who would you want to go with you to that community if you had to start all over? You could create like your like ideal like little homestead, like we're all like, I don't know what it's called, but if you were going to be in community, who would you want? Make a list of those people. Who would you want to be off grid with? Okay. And then if you don't know those people personally, say that they're your Facebook contacts, reach out to them in Messenger. Say to them, just be like, I was making a list. I was thinking of who I would want to be off grid with. You were on the top of the list. Like it occurred to me that like, as Facebook is going down in flames, maybe it's not going down in flames. This happened last year or 4 years ago too. So it will stabilize and normalize again. But right now for me personally, it's not a place that I want to be. So I am reaching out and I'm asking people, are you on Instagram? You know, what's your cell phone number? What's your email? Make sure that you have a way to be connected with the people that you want to stay connected with. Okay. That's number one. Number two is plugging into Messenger and check in with these people, have conversations. People are wanting to be in relationship right now, particularly if you're like-minded with someone. So whatever it is that your beliefs are, have conversations. There's a lot of people where like, There's a girl that I'm like, I met her on Instagram and we've had like built a relationship. She's actually looked at the business. She's very high up in Young Living and she's really struggling right now. And we have conversations and we're reading the book together. It's a Mastin Kipp book. I'll show it to you. And she and I have like very different, like we voted differently, but we had a really cool conversation where she's like, I see where you're coming from. I was like, I totally see where you're coming from. Like you can find your people. It's not about who votes for me. I don't think it should be about who votes the same way or who shares the exact same like ideology, but I'm looking for people who like will be my friends and show up for me regardless of what my political beliefs are. I don't need people to be the same. I don't want to be in a vacuum, and that's not what this call is about. But I'm looking for someone who's not going to cut me off when I show up as my authentic self. Okay, because if I have to water myself down for you to like me, well, then you're going to leave me one day anyway when you realize who I am. Okay, so show up authentically. If you're not comfortable doing that on social media, show up authentically in Messenger, like whatever that looks like. Find your tribe, write their names down, and make sure that you have a way to contact them regardless of what social media platform that you're on. Okay, be human, have conversations, build relationships, and get phone numbers. Okay, that's like your new DAP right now in my mind. And then number 3, this is huge, 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 you guys. Lean hard into customer service. Okay, I want to remind you the way our compensation plan works, like we are not assigning points. Like I don't love the flip the switch for this one reason, okay, is because there's this like hustle or pressure to get people, you know what I mean? Like let's sign up 5, let's get those new points, right? But like really that's not how our compensation plan works. The beautiful thing about our compensation plan is when we help people have success and build deep, that's where you make the residual money. Okay, so it's not always about that fast start bonus. Don't get me wrong, I love the fast start bonus. Like I like fast money, but like I want customers that are lifelong customers that are going to stay here with us forever. That regardless if they don't see me showing up on social media, that they understand the how and the why they're taking these products and they're not ever gonna stop. Like for me, like I said to my friend yesterday, like I would be a stripper before I gave up like Protandim for my kids. Not that anyone wants to see me strip at this point, but like my point is like these products in my kids' bodies are a non-negotiable. It makes that big a difference. I'm so like far like deeply rooted into like they're important for us. So it's not a like, can I figure out a way to make sure I have the money to do that? It's expensive with all the products that we use. Like it's gotten expensive for us, but it's a how can I? Okay. And like that will happen. Like that's what you want for your customers. Okay. So the flip the switch is important. You know, for me, 2 customers is in 100 points of new volume, given my rank and the matching bonus, the compensation plan, that's also a non-negotiable for me. But I'm not hustling to bring in like 10, 15 people. What I want is to make sure that the customer who said yes last month or 3 months ago stays and continues to order, and to build on their order. A lot of people sign up with just Nerf 2, right? Because they're building belief, and that's okay. But it's reaching back out to them, asking them like, how are you? How is that working? Know what your customers are ordering. If it's just Nerf 2, how is that going? Like, do you feel like you understand what it is? Like I saw, you know, check your cards in the app. Like, did their order not go through? Like reach out, help them make sure that their credit card is updated. You know, if they're not taking it, like make sure you help them like push back their order if they want, but also making sure that they understand why they're taking it, how they're taking it. I've been sending samples of Axio and sometimes the Tri-Synergizer to my, as it's appropriate, you know? So just another example, I had one customer, she's a really good customer. She was just taking Nerf 2 and she was dabbling in Axio. So I gave her all the Axio like flavors. I gave her some hair, like I still have hair care samples. I gave her that. Like I gave her basically like some of everything that I had. You guys, she's spending like $400 a month now. So it was a worthwhile investment for me. You know, to give her some of that product to try to let, like, people need to feel valued and appreciated. I've been going to this shoe store for 14 years. And it's probably a little bit more expensive, but the customer service, I don't trust anyone else to size my kids' feet. Okay. And we were just having this conversation, like my kids, it's really sad. My kids have sort of grown out of like the kids' shoes. The girls have like adult sized feet now, and they don't like the shoe selection there, like the few adult shoes that they have. So I actually left that store yesterday to go to a different store because my daughter needed cleats. And, I have a point to this. And so we went to this new store, and like, I was really like, I walked in ready to spend money. Like she needed soccer stuff. I was ready to get it for her. This other place was so not helpful. Like I felt like I was kind of annoying them, and like they would answer my questions, but they weren't going above and beyond to really help me. And so we bought one thing and left, and I literally drove back to the other store. I want to give that other store my business, particularly now. They're a small business and I want to support them. So I went out of my way to drive back there and get the ugly cleats that she didn't really like from them, because I wanted to give them my money because they've given me such good customer service. Be that for your customers. Okay? Like that is my biggest piece of advice to you, is root down and anchor what you have already. It's not just like, hey, here's the customer appreciation program because you're going to get me a new customer. No, wrong attitude. Okay. Show up. How can I still be of service to you and let you know that I appreciate your business, particularly now? Be that. Dig into that. While the world goes crazy arguing on social media, dig into the customers that you already have. If you're new and you don't have customers yet, that's a different story. But like bring that attitude with, how can I serve you? Okay. And then my other thing, final thing to wrap up, is make sure that you guys are using stories. Okay. You can show up in your stories on Instagram. You can push them through to Facebook. Embrace it. They're so easy. And my biggest piece of advice is have fun with it. You guys, it is not just about the behaviors in this business. It's not just inviting. It's not just like showing up to check the box that like I did something. Your energy, your passion is contagious. If you are excited and passionate about what you do, if you are having fun, your customers or like the people watching you will know that, and you'll have much more success. So instead of just asking yourself like, I don't know, like, this doesn't feel good, I'm confused, I don't want to do this on social media. Like instead of sitting there, ask yourself instead, how can I make this feel better? What do I have to do to make this like feel good? Okay, so it's putting your own oxygen mask on first. Pull off social media for a day or 2 or 3 if that's what you need to do. But like, you don't have to shut it down. I'm not on Facebook at all right now, but I'm still showing up in my stories. I can push my Instagram stories through to Facebook, so nobody even knows that. And I'm still in my Messenger. I can still go into my groups that I need to go in, right? Nobody needs to know that I'm not scrolling the crazy arguing right now. Okay. So it's just, you guys, it's all in here. It is all in here. If you're not already doing personal development, I highly recommend it. As for the book I'm reading, it's Mastin Kipp, Mastin and it's like a 40-day something. It's so good. I'm on like day 2. But I'm really, really enjoying it. It's really good. So that's all I got for you today. I hope it was helpful. Does anybody have any questions or anything they wanted to talk about? Nope. Okay, cool. All right, you guys, put your oxygen mask on first. Let's go rock this. Bye.